Hey guys, welcome to my video for the January monthly celebrations video series. Hopefully you guys have already watched kind of the intro to the series video and you kind of know what's going on. Basically every month of the year, me and a couple other YouTubers are going to share different events and occasions that we celebrate each month of the year throughout the year, kind of like way back when Two Peas in a Bucket used to have like their video series where, you know, on Monday it was a video with Jen Gallagher, or Tuesday it was this, and Wednesday it was stamping, or Thursday it was this. Kind of one of those things where you know that every month around the 15th you are going to have, you know, a good handful of videos from people on YouTube sharing what they celebrate each month. For me, January is kind of one of those months where I'm done. Like, I'm not motivated to do anything. We don't really have a whole lot of stuff that we do. It doesn't snow here, so I don't have snow pictures, things like that. The only thing that we have in January is my daughter was born on the 4th, and so I do not scrapbook in order. I kind of go with what I feel like working on or what I'm motivated to work on, that kind of thing. When Grace and I did this series in 2017, for January, I did my daughter's first birthday, and so this year I just kind of went through my photos in my computer and just looked through all the January folders, and I decided to do a layout for her first bath. With both of my kids, my mom came over and gave them their first bath, and it was just kind of this little tradition that we had. And I went ahead a couple weeks ago and pre-planned out a lot of my videos, and anything that I knew that I needed a collage for, I went ahead and edited them. And for me, a collage is just like a super quick way to kind of get a layout done where this part of the layout is already figured out and I just need to figure out what to do with the leftover space, and that's kind of the math that works for me. If you took my 4x6 class, you kind of know what I'm talking about when I say the leftover space. The only other thing that I figured out is I think I'm going to use my favorite line from Simple Stories, which is the first baby one that they did. Not the first one, but Hello Baby. I think there was a Hello Baby too. I pulled this out. I decided not to pull out the papers that I had already cut into. This was just easier. And then I have a whole stack of stuff over here that goes with this line. And then when I was looking through it, I came across in this 3x4 Snap Baby Girl, there is this cute little duck with the pink border that I can do my journaling on. So this obviously is not designed to go with this line, but I'm gonna try to make it work. Simple Stories is awesome in the fact that they tend to use the same color palettes between lines, so you could take a pink from this line and match it up with a pink from Vintage Bliss and match it up with a pink from one of the summer lines. So that's pretty much the only game plan that I have for right now. Originally I was thinking about doing something where with the leftover space doing like a big title and like die cut scene and stuff like that, but then I'm kind of feeling lazy, if I'm gonna be honest. So I just kind of want to I haven't scrapbooked in so long, and I just kind of want to rip the band-aid off and just not overthink everything. So as of right now, I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna kind of start opening some of this stuff, start playing around and seeing. I'm almost kind of thinking I might do maybe like a color blocking wallpaper type of layout. So I'm going to take you guys along for the journey, and please don't forget to look in the description box below for all the other girls that are participating in this collaboration, and I am very much appreciative. They are some of my favorite YouTubers, so if you are not already subscribed to their channel, go ahead and check them out and maybe decide to be a subscriber over there as well. Okay, let's get going.
Okay guys, not only have I not scrapbooked in a very long time, obviously I have not edited a process video in a long time, so bear with me if this is sort of just a hot mess. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I am sort of proud of myself that these videos are going up on the 15th of each month, as I mentioned before. All of the girls involved are going to be posting on the 15th. I was super motivated for some reason at the beginning of the year. I think it was just signing up for different challenges, getting this collab going, and knowing that I really couldn't start until January 1st. I, for whatever reason, was just really motivated to get going, and I actually had this done by the 2nd of January, which for me, I'm usually like midnight the day before trying to finish stuff and edit a video. And so like today's the 8th, and I'm editing this, and it'll go up next week for you guys. So, well, not now for you guys, next week for me. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so as far as the layout goes, I had kind of explained my game plan in the beginning. I ended up deciding not to do anything with my silhouette. I just was not feeling motivated really to go that route. It's slower and it sort of takes my brain somewhere else. So when I was going through the 3x4 cards, one of the things that I like to do with those 3x4 cards is to die cut it with a notebook die. And the one that I have is from My Favorite Things, the stamp company, but it's super old. I bought it during a clearance sale. That's typically when I shop. I'll shop de-stashes and clearance sales and stuff like that, just because a lot of stamping stuff can get kind of expensive, especially those metal dies. And I've had a ton of people comment on videos every time I use that die, asking basically where can they find it. And unfortunately it is retired, but I did want to go ahead and tell you guys that if you are taking 3x4 card elements or even 3x4 sized pattern paper, if you have a notebook border punch, basically just take the top of your card and punch it with a notebook border punch. And then if you're actually going to be able to see the entire piece, just take a corner rounder to the bottom, and that's basically what this die does. Pretty much I could have done that for this layout. I wasn't really thinking about it. I do have a notebook border punch. I could have just punched the top of all of these because I am tucking them in, but this is just habit for me. This die lives on my desk. I absolutely love it. For me, it's a go-to tool or supply in my stash, and I kind of have always felt like do what you like, don't necessarily do what everybody else likes. So I'm still keeping my eye out for something similar so that I can at least post a link to something similar, because almost every single time I use this die, somebody will ask me about it, and I've had it for years. I probably bought it 4 years ago when MFT was doing a big clearance sale on their website, and it's just one of those things that I use all the time. As far as papers, I went through that pad that I had, and I just pulled out colors that I wanted to use, and then my actual background piece is a pink basics, and I don't remember which collection it goes to. Basically, one side of it was like a teeny tiny I can't think of the name of the pattern, like eyelet pattern looking, and then the other side was like a tone-on-tone fabric looking one, and I can't think of what collection it's from. I break down my basic patterns from Simple Stories and put them all in a file folder because I go to them a lot. I use them for die cutting. I use them to use as backgrounds. I use them for easy tone-on-tones, so I like to keep them separated. The black was from that pad as well. I don't know if you're able to see. It had a pre-printed like doily and baby banner on it. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted the black or dark gray chalkboard looking kind of thing. I was leaning that direction as far as a neutral. And then I pulled out this sheet that has all these little ruler strips, and that particular pattern and the striped pattern that I use are probably my favorite papers out of that collection. I just feel like you can get a lot of mileage out of them. A lot of times I will do this where I'll take a border and punch like a scallop strip just to make the ruler look a little more interesting. And then for whatever reason, I was having an issue trying to assemble my pages because I was forgetting the fact that I needed to tuck these in. I wasn't 100% sure how far down my collage was going to go, where that border strip was going to go. So I had already put adhesive on everything, so I just slid my ruler underneath there to keep it basically from sticking to the paper and ripping everything. From here, I went ahead and started working on my title, and it's basically just going to say First Bath with Grandma, I I think, or Sarah's first bath with Grandma, one or the other. And I literally just went with whatever I had sort of close at hand. The brighter pink letters, I want to say, are Pink Fresh, and I bought them when I went to the Create Crop in September. And I finally used them, and I actually really liked them. They're a good size, and they seem to stay down pretty well. And then these wood grain stickers are from the Hello Baby line, as well as the little pink tile stickers. Those were all part of the sticker sheet. I didn't pull anything from my stash that was not part of this collection. I feel like my go-to is to scrapbook within a collection. I don't like to have to try to go digging and finding things that mix and match unless I'm specifically challenging myself to do that. Then I like to do that. Otherwise, I will literally just pull out everything that I have that matches a line or within a manufacturer. Because like I was saying, Simple Stories is really good about having a color palette that goes across their collections, and a couple of the manufacturers that I tend to gravitate towards do that. And then the other stuff that I pulled was like the die cut pack, the chipboard pack, and I have broken everything down and I just stick it in like those Avriel pockets that you would store stamps and dies and stuff in. I will store my embellishments for bigger collections in those. It's convenient. I already have them. Like my room, like the stuff that I keep them in is already kind of sized for that, so it just works. So basically all these little note cards across the top, I'm just making them kind of look whimsical across the top, and then each of the individual cards I'm embellishing differently just to give it different interest per card, if that makes sense. One of them, which was the rubber ducky one that I mentioned at the beginning, I went ahead and typed up my journaling and ran it through my printer. I was using stuff that I had cut in half the last time I used this collection, which was where that little doily die cut came from. I was gravitating towards like the little tabs, and then I just kind of picked through the chipboard and just kind of went with what I like. I feel like for most people, the embellishing is the part that they enjoy the most. And for me, I like the boring stuff, putting the papers and the photos down, because those are the things that I can immediately see in my mind how it's going to be at the end. And so I feel like I'm more excited to do that. The embellishing is the part that I sort of have to slow down and think about a little bit more. And sometimes I'll step back and I'm wondering why I made choices that I made, especially when it comes to editing the video and I'm seeing it from a distance. But I was actually really pleased with how this turned out. And like I said, it's the 8th today. I am so excited for the 15th to come around so that I can see what all the other girls are doing for January. All of their channel information will be in the description box below this video. And then each girl will have the same information as far as which channels are participating. But I would encourage you, no matter whose video you're watching, to go ahead and look at their description box, because a lot of them will put other videos from their channel that you may be interested in because they're similar to what they're posting. They'll provide links to certain playlists that maybe new viewers would be interested in. I'd also encourage you, if you aren't already subscribed to any of these channels and you find yourself enjoying what they're creating for January, to go ahead and subscribe to their channels. And if you have the time or the motivation, or you just want to say something, I would go ahead and leave a comment for some of the girls on their videos, because some days when I get a little notification on my phone and somebody has left me a comment, honestly, on a bad day, that will turn my mood around, and it's just kind of nice to sort of get a feedback in this sort of community that's kind of one-sided. So if you're not posting in the comments, maybe challenge yourself to comment on one or two of the videos during this collaboration. So as always, I thank you guys for coming by and spending time with me while I create a scrapbook layout, and I will catch you guys in another monthly celebrations video on the 15th of each month. Bye!